What if I told you that is actually one single misunderstanding that's holding you back from the life beyond what you're imagining?
If you're new to us, we're Sorcerer and Aurora, and we are here to break through to the next level of your life as conscious creators. And in this video, we're going to talk about how Source never judges your readiness, the real reason your manifestation feels delayed, and lastly, how to shift from waiting for permission to breaking through to your experiences now. This is a paradigm shift you need to know.
Firstly, the mistake that people make when it comes to manifestation is thinking, what if it's too much? Or can I really have this? And I think that mindset is really common with people who grew up in religious households. This idea that there is a God or an authority outside of yourself that dictates your life, essentially what's good for you. It knows better than you. And so when we decide to have these desires that feel really big, um, those thoughts arise of, can I have this? Is this too much? Am I being greedy? All kinds of things that we have to work through. So, do you have any opinion about where that thought may come from as well?
That comes through the past experiences and already labeling this from a process of adding on to a layer of limitation already. So the fact that you're already questioning things already plants that seed of doubt. And this normally happens through people not processing certain types of changes through their life and not learning through previous lessons. Am I right?
Right.
Yes. It normally comes from a place in their life that has been um, where they haven't learned a situation, where they haven't worked things out, and this is a perpetual cycle.
And I wonder as well, outside of the religious thinking, like having people in your life that
That's a great example.
downplay you.
That's a great example because I know from a community based a lot of the questions that a lot of the people that go through these type of situations is due to culture, due to things that have been passed on by many generations. People say it's sayings, I say it's programming. And this is what creates that layer of resistance. So even when you try to break through a problem, I understand it. You've been programmed in the past to not deal with problems, to not be accountable for things, and seeing it as a certain particular reason from what you've heard, what you've been advised. You know, these things are very common these days, and a lot of these things have been said and they are passed on.
Now, as someone who is a psychic channel and you can tap into the Akashic records, do you think that karma or past lives plays an effect in this thinking?
Absolutely, it definitely plays a part of it, and it's. I'm gonna give you an analogy. It's a hurdle, but everyone has to go through a state of hurdles in their life in this 3D world, right? But what I've seen is people are not even willing to make the jump off and make that chance and make that run due to their hesitation of thinking that there are too many problems, just too many mistakes in the first place. So yes, there is karmic situations that will hold you down, but a lot of the reasons why people can't deal with things are based on fears.
Mm.
Fears, fears that they already initiate in their cells when it's like, oh, certain scenarios that I see are the reason why I can't go through this. I can't. How can I do this? It's impossible. I'm saying there is karmic lessons and there's karmic ties, but already people put themselves in a karmic loop through the way they think and the way they speak.
For me, I remember there was a time in my life where I would want something really big, right? So let's say even like being a millionaire, for instance. I used to wonder, like, well, what if that's not written in like my soul contract or something? Or maybe the reason why it's been so tough for me is because I've got like karmic debt and that's not what I'm supposed to be doing right now. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
But knowing what I know now and supporting what you just said, I think a lot of that was also me offloading my own excuses to like, oh, it's outside of my control.
I'll give an example, right? Most people in many communities, and this goes back to their parents, that the only way they can see themselves being rich is winning the lottery. The chances of winning the lottery are very much of you. It's more likely for you to get struck by lightning twice than actually winning the lottery. But that's their way of thinking of the only way they're gonna ever be rich is winning the lottery. So when they say, "Oh, that's the only way you're gonna win," you yourself have already been programmed to also think that that's the only way that you'll be making money, where that's absolutely the wrong approach. But that's not your fault. It's just advice that you've been told through people. Now, what you've got to do at this moment in time is understand that if there is unlimited source and the source of it is completely limitless, that means that there isn't just one way to make money. There are many ways. There are multi-dimensional ways. So don't just think that I'm using that example of that winning ticket. That's not the only way, but there are many ways. But we've been taught by our communities or by our parents, by our friends, that's the one ticket for your dreams.
So really the issue is it stems from a place of smallness,
Absolutely.
whether it's through thinking there's a God dictating what you can do, whether it's through saying things like, oh, the only way I can have this is if I'm lucky, essentially,
Hmm.
right? And it's giving away your own personal power and what you're truly capable of. Because if you knew that, oh, it's within me, then all the routes of how it
Absolutely.
can happen.
Well, you just hit it right in the head, Aurora. The fact that you said there are all routes, understand that the fact that you've said that the only way for you to win in your mind is winning the lottery, you've basically cut off all supply already. In
Mhm.
that way, you've removed any permission for you to attain, to feel abundant, to feel rich, to be rich.
So let's talk about what the true nature of the universe is, because I think it's very important to understand when you're thinking these kinds of things of can I really have this or can I really do this? And something that really shifted things for us was realizing that all energy is neutral, right? And as conscious creators, literally reality responds to our will. So, what was it for you that really like allowed you to internalize that there's nothing judging me? It's just it's all energy.
A lot of the energy that I needed to basically see my transformations was from within rather than the external. If you focus on the external, first of all, you were trapped by the external. Whereas if you focus on changing the construct of how you think and how um, you perceive reality through your own self belief, that's how you change everything um, in your life, in the present, towards your future. That's the massive transformation that many people um, have to go through. And that's something that me and Aurora had to really understand from our own situations because we're no exceptions to the rule. The reason why we know all of these things is because we had to go through them.
As far as debunking, like what I'm doing is being judged, or and when I say judge, what I really mean is when you think about it, if you're wondering, can I have this? Like that's kind of like asking for permission. And so by default, something outside of you is judging you worthy. And so how I debunked that is through the like going through the experiences of taking those leaps of faith that showed me like, oh, my worthiness has nothing to do with it. I just have to want it. So touching on desires, like what do you think, like why do you think we have desires in the first place?
Because that is truly something that we ever want to touch or reach. These are things that are innately things that we ourselves truly, truly strive for. And it starts from the moment, from the start of man and woman. And that itself is, we always needed to find ways to fill ourselves up if we were thirsty, hungry. As time goes by, that goes into different focuses in terms of what we want from a, not just from a financial point of view, but our goals. There are different layers to it right now. But the desire is based on truly what we set ourselves and what we truly want. Still the same energy.
I think it's also true that if you're asking, am I ready for this? Even though you have that desire, you're sending out that I'm not ready.
Hmm.
So,
Yep.
with that being said, how do they begin to shift that energy?
By being in the energy of assuming that they have it already. And by having it already, that means that it's not if but when you will be getting more of this energy of what you desire. Because in order for you to be in a place of abundance, you've got to position yourself to be in that position. You got to feel it, know it, breathe it. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have it right now, but you put yourself in that energy of saying, you know what, I want a specific situation um to arise in terms of what I want. You know what? I'm gonna be heading towards this particular goal. You have to meet the universe halfway in order for you to feel and know this transaction of going heading there and receiving what you desire and what you know that is yours.
And what do you think is the way they could also shift like their relationship with the universe? Because you said meet the universe halfway, right? And so I want to make sure the role of the universe is very clear. Um, it's easy, like even when we say things like thank you, spirit, or thank you, universe, we're expressing that gratitude as if it's the universe, an external thing, brought it to us, right? But at the end of the day, we are also the spirit and the universe that we're thanking.
Absolutely.
And for me, it was for a period of time, I actually went through not saying, like, thank you, spirit. I just kept saying, like, I trust myself. Thank you, me. And developing that connection with my higher mind and seeing my higher mind as literally just um, like a blown up version of myself in like cosmic space and realizing that like, well, if it were me outside of me, I would love to give me things all the time. I would give me whatever I want. Does that make sense?
Yes. And I'm going to go as far to say that in terms of your relationship is basically also energy. I had to deal with a client that had to deal with, well, this person is involved with money in her um, position. And one of the biggest issues that this person has is being so angry at the universe every time she experiences a hurdle, being so vastly angry in regards to reacting towards maybe a certain decision that didn't go her way. And she puts so much power into that energy that, of course, the flow in her life and the life that she wants isn't going in the way that she wants it to be because she puts too much pressure on the negativities surrounding that. She wasn't willing to champion herself. She wasn't willing to champion the position that she's in, but she was putting more power into the negative aspects that was holding herself down. So what's going to happen? By proxy, it's going to basically be the exact same energy again and again and again and again.
Now that let's say they watch this and they're like, okay, I'm making the decision right now to know that anything that I desire, it's meant for me. I'm not asking too much, right? What do they do when that uncertainty arises? Of like, okay, I've embodied the decision, but my reality still looks like things aren't going my way, or I still feel blocked.
Now, if you know your destination is to where you're going to go, every lesson, every hurdle that you may be going through is the step in the right direction for you to reach that destination of abundance, life, happiness. Because there are gems within those moments in your life that you've got to learn in order for you to really appreciate the things that are coming towards your way. Because life is also about polarity. How can you truly feel the taste of victory if you've never ever lost in your life? Or you've never learned, excuse me. You need to experience these difficult moments because these difficult moments will define when you win and how much it makes you feel when you have it.
Sometimes, let's say you were already feeling a bit stagnant when you were asking yourself, can I have this, right? And when you make the identity shift, you're still going to be hit with the things in your reality that are a reflection of who you were. So don't think that, oh, I've shifted in my mind. I'm still seeing the old reality. That must mean like, um, things aren't going right, or whatever thoughts that are coming up with that uncertainty. It's about having the conviction and the perseverance and the identity that you're choosing. And if you can do that, then I guarantee things will shift.
Absolutely.
So that wraps up this episode. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. And if there are any other things that you'd like for us to cover, feel free to leave a comment down below. And we'll see you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode. Take care now.